Before we do start this video, I do want to speak about our sponsor for today, and that is going to be the OneFootball app. If you want to find out what is currently going on in the World Cup when it comes to Argentina, for example, Brazil, Germany, Spain, France, any of those national teams, you can find all of that information, all of the formations, the tactics, and everything regarding that specific game or that team that you do want to follow. It is going to be found in the OneFootball app. If you do want to download the OneFootball app, you can. So there is going to be a link down below that'll take you straight to the App Store. You download the OneFootball app, you said exactly who and what you do want to follow, and then you'll be set to and done from there. It's a very easy process. You will be notified immediately and live on your phone, and it is for free. And I hope you guys do enjoy it. And even without the World Cup going on, let's say for example the World Cup is over and you still have the OneFootball app, you can still follow your favorite clubs. So maybe it could be FC Barcelona, Real Madrid, Manchester City, Liverpool, or whatever football club you do want to follow. Again, the OneFootball app will be there to cover for you 100% of the time. You guys will not be disappointed. So, bro, like, I can't believe what we have just witnessed, right? For the Group C. Group C was crazy. I think that there's a reason why Group C is named Group C, because C stands for crazy. It was crazy. We saw so many crazy scenarios. There were so many solutions that could have happened, so many situations that could have happened within the Group C, depending on who scored and who probably conceded. Because let me tell you guys, I really did think that for a second there, I thought that Mexico were going to go through. I really did think that. And for those of you guys who do not know what Mexico means, is Mexico. I understand that that's how you say it, Mexico, but I'm going to say Mexico because that's how you say it in Mexico, right? So I thought for a second Mexico were going to go through. I really did think that because Argentina were dominating against Poland. They were passing around all through the field against Poland. Poland had no control at all. They couldn't even connect 1 to 2 passes because of Argentina's press. They were very intense. They pressed very well, especially with Romero and Otamendi. It was amazing. It was an amazing performance from Argentina. And that is the reason why I thought that for a second there, Mexico were going to go through, because the only thing that needed to happen when Argentina scored that second goal was to find the third goal, and Poland comes out and Mexico goes to the round of 16. And so if you guys have any friends that support Poland and or are from Poland, if you guys have friends, check up on them, message them, tell them that everything's gonna be okay, or how are they, because I know that I knew that if I was a Poland fan, if I was from Poland and I saw this situation that was going on, knowing that we could not concede one more goal, right, I probably would have had a heart attack. The nerves, right, it would have been crazy. So at the end of the day, it was very entertaining. I'm not like a real diehard Argentina fan or Poland fan or Mexico fan or Saudi Arabia fan. It was just very fun to watch because it was at the very last few seconds that we had to find out what's going to be the ultimate conclusion. And so again, only for us to find out in the end that Mexico have conceded a very easy goal, a cheap goal. I have no idea what the defense of Mexico was even thinking, just letting that player go through their defense and going up against Ochoa on a 1v1. It was a very cheap goal. That should have never been a goal coming from Mexico, because they had defended well, they have attacked well. Mexico scored also a golazo against Saudi Arabia. You felt the positivity and the enthusiasm and the optimism surrounding this nation. We thought many of us thought that Mexico were going to go through, but for Mexico to let go of that cheap goal from Saudi Arabia, it was offensive. And I'm not even a Mexican fan. It was offensive for them to concede in that way. Now I know that it did not matter because Argentina did not score the third goal, but again, it's very offensive just to let that goal go through and to let down your fans. Props to Ochoa for having a great game. Props to who else was in this Mexico game that I have to remember. Montes also had a great game. Alvarez also had a great game. Pineda also had a great game. Lozano, and then you have Martin. They all played great. Gallardo was also very, very good against Saudi Arabia. They played very well. Even Chavez, who scored a goal for Mexico. I think he scored the free kick. I'm not sure. I could be wrong. But a lot of these players played well. I just think that the ultimate problem for Mexico right now, it is Tata. And I think that the way that they have approached Argentina really did harm them in a way, because they went out there to take away points from Argentina, not to add points for themselves. I've always said those are two different things, two different mindsets. If Mexico went on there to go attack and score goals against Argentina, they probably would have been in a much better position due to goal difference, right? And you guys know that's a fact. Like if Mexico scored more goals and they went out there to score 2 goals against Argentina, and then maybe potentially for Argentina to react back and score 3 goals, even though like we just wanted more from this Mexican team because we know that there is quality in this squad. And I know that I'm kind of speaking like why are you speaking like if you're a Mexican fan? Like I am American, right? I support USA, but I also want these nations from Central America to do well. I want them to do well and represent themselves well in the World Cup. It's a shame to see Canada come out. It's a shame to see Mexico come out. The only country that is still here to represent us, it is USA, which is amazing to me. At the end of the day, when I go to sleep, I'm gonna sleep happy because USA is still in this World Cup. Hopefully they beat the Netherlands, but we want to see Mexico do so much better because we know who they are and who they could be. The problem it is Tata. It's not the players. It's not the technical staff. It's the coach, Tata Martino, right? He's the problem. I'm getting a little sidetracked here because I know that I was supposed to be talking about Argentina versus Poland, and I know my audience, you guys couldn't care less about Mexico right now. Argentina, let's go back to the Argentina versus Poland game, right? Because I think there's a lot to say here when it comes to Argentina. Argentina is growing in this World Cup. They are going to be a huge competitor winning this World Cup. They started very bad by losing against Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia and their defenders were talking to Messi saying that we're gonna kick you out, you're gonna lose, or he said something like that to Lionel Messi. And now look at where Saudi Arabia is at. You see how like you have to be humble. Don't talk too early, or else things like this do happen. Yeah, so Argentina, like I've said, Argentina and Poland have advanced. Mexico are out. Saudi Arabia are out. Argentina at the very beginning came in a 4-3-3 system against Poland with Alvarez as a left winger, Messi as the central forward, but he had much more of a free role, so he was almost acting like a false nine with Di Maria playing on the right wing. You can, in the very first 15 to 20 minutes, Di Maria was desperately trying to find a pass to Lionel Messi in order for Messi to score. So we saw some things that we usually did see coming from Scaloni's Argentina during the qualifiers. We also saw De Paul. De Paul had a great game in my opinion. He recovered so many balls high up the pitch. So it's great to see that De Paul has recovered his form, because in the past 2 games, I wasn't a big fan of what De Paul was doing. And I know that many of us were like, what the heck, what's going on with De Paul? Like, has he been overhyped? What's going on with this player? But De Paul had a great game. And especially another player that I also want to shout out, it is Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez continues to impress. I want to see Barcelona at the very least try and bid for this player, because this player can play as a central defensive midfielder. This player can play as a interior, but I do think that he does shine the most as a central defensive midfielder, and especially when you see his performance against Poland. This guy here, he will be considered as one of the best players in his position in a few years. Right now, he is too young. He's still too inexperienced, which is why he did make some big mistakes against Poland. But here's the thing that really does interest me the most about Enzo Fernandez, is the fact that this player knew that he was making mistakes against Poland. He knew that he was making misplaced passes that almost led towards Poland score goals. But what happened after that? He continued to improve his game. He got more confident off of those mistakes, because he knew he had to make up for what he did in the first 15 to 25 minutes, because it was not all sunshine and rainbows. And to see a player come up in that way, right, to make mistakes but then to recover from your mistakes and become even more confident than you were in the beginning of this game, that is a sign of a good player. Enzo Fernandez is a great player that I think Barcelona should be going for, and we have already heard so many reports about FC Barcelona keeping tabs on Enzo Fernandez, because he simply is having a great season overall, not just with Argentina, but also with Benfica. This is a player that gave out an assist to Julian Alvarez, so props to the River Plate duo that we saw, because these are 2 players who did come from River Plate, Julian Alvarez and Enzo Fernandez. So it was great to see that. Gallardo has done brilliant work with River Plate, birthing these players to go to Europe and to really dominate and to also display great performances for Argentina. So props to that coach at River Plate. It was great. It was a great assist. Julian Alvarez scored a golazo. But again, going back to Enzo Fernandez. Enzo Fernandez is just amazing as a defensive midfielder. He's only 21 years old, by the way, so he's young. He has a lot of room to grow. He has distributed the most tackles in this game. If we look at the stats here, he took a total of 99 touches, so he was very involved. He had a total of 10 passes into the final third. When it came to long balls, he has distributed 2 long balls, and both of them were accurate, so he had a 100% success rate. He was dispossessed 0 times, my friends. 0 times. He never ever lost the ball every time he had the ball and was carrying the ball. Tackles 1, 2 out of 2. He has 1, 2 out of those 2 tackles. Clearances 1, interceptions 1, recoveries 2, ground duels. He has distributed 2 ground duels, won both of them, and then he has distributed 3 aerial duels right in the air. Obviously, when the ball's in the air, he has won 3 out of the 3. So he has not lost a single duel, both on the ground and in the air. So he had again a great performance, and I love to see this player, right? I love to see how he likes to take on some players. He takes up space. He provides for his other midfielders like DePaul and so much more. And let's continue with Argentina and Poland, because Argentina again were the dominant ones against Poland. They looked very inspiring. You look at the amount of possession they had. They had a total of 66% possession. Expected goals 1.98, total shots 12, big chances 3. Poland had 2 total shots, 0 big chances. You look at the amount of shots on target was a lot. It was like a total of 5 to 6 shots on target, while Poland had 0. Poland couldn't find a single shot on target. And it's sad to see that Lewandowski barely gets any support, because if you looked at the game, the only thing that Poland were doing were basically they were sitting back on a 4-4-2 formation or a 4-1-1 formation, with Lewandowski getting the ball in the middle of the pitch, and there was no support. All the players stood back. They're like, there's no way we're going to go up here, because players like Julian Alvarez is going to be taking up the space behind us. We're just going to stay here. Lewandowski, you could take care of the rest. And it did not work. Lewandowski couldn't do anything. He got the ball, and every time he had the ball, freaking players like these center backs like Otamendi and Romero, they were always on Lewandowski and taking the ball away from him, not even giving this player room to breathe. Like, he had the ball for like 2 seconds, and then Romero had the ball again, and then Argentina went on to attack. And I hope that this is probably going to be like the main game plan for Argentina overall, is to get the ball back as soon as possible and then to attack immediately. This is something that Argentina is going to have to display when they face teams like Spain and France. So again, it was a phenomenal performance from Argentina. Phenomenal performance. I think that for tonight, between Argentina and Poland, it was more about Argentina's collective performance over Lionel Messi. In that match against Mexico, it was just about Lionel Messi, but in this game, it was about Argentina as a collective. We have Mac Allister, who has really came out for Argentina. He has brought in the phenomenal goal. It was amazing. It's crazy to see how football does work, because Lo Celso was actually supposed to be taking his spot. Mac Allister was not even considered at some point to be in this squad. Lo Celso was supposed to be there, and now seeing that Mac Allister has scored for Argentina and has given out Argentina the 3 points, basically, right? And to go into the next round, it's funny how football works. Now that we have him here, I'm sure that Mac Allister is going to continue to provide for Argentina alongside with the other players that has came into this squad. So again, it's more about a unit. Scaloni has really built this team to the point where they can perform as a collective. I think that Argentina will go far. You look at their route right now, everything does indicate that most likely they will be going on to face either USA or the Netherlands after they do beat Australia, assuming that Argentina do beat Australia, because we don't know what's going to happen. This is football. What if Australia does beat Argentina? But I highly do doubt that. Argentina most likely will be facing, again, either the Netherlands or USA. Hopefully it's the US. I am, again, a US fan, and I hope that the US beat the Netherlands, whether that's through extra time, through penalties. I just want to see the US go through and face Argentina. And if you ask me, all right, Kevin, if you really want that to happen, if you want USA versus Argentina in the quarterfinals, who are you going to go for? Because I see you going for Argentina because of Messi. I see you going for USA. I already given out my list, and I told you guys exactly who am I going to be supporting, and it goes within, it's a ranking, right? If it's not going to be Spain, it's going to be Argentina. If it's not going to be USA, it's going to be Argentina. If it's not going to be Argentina, it's going to be Spain. So if Argentina faces USA in the quarterfinals, I'm going to go for USA to really batter Argentina. It's not going to break my heart because, again, if USA beats Argentina in the quarterfinals, knowing that USA is going to go to the semifinals, I will be the happiest person on earth. If Argentina beats USA, yes, I'll be sad. I'll be a little frustrated. also, but I'll also be happy because you know honestly now that I think about it, if Argentina ends up beating USA, I'll be happy no matter what happens because I'll know that USA will come out of this World Cup learning a few things that they can carry to the 2026 World Cup, and knowing that they had a great run. For USA to go to the quarterfinals and give Argentina a really good battle, I'll be happy. USA do not have to win the World Cup. It does not really matter to me. It's just the fact that USA go into the quarterfinals with these group of players, I would be very happy. And then to see Argentina go to the semifinals, that's what's ultimately gonna make me happy. So I think that I actually do prefer that in a way, which is funny. But I'm gonna go for USA first. But if Argentina goes through, I'm not going to be the saddest person on earth. If Argentina go to the semifinals, and I don't know who else they play. I remember posting it on Instagram. But if Argentina, assuming that they go through USA or the Netherlands after that round, I did post it on Instagram. Let me see if I can find the picture. Just give me a second here. Their routes right now. So sorry guys, I did not know I was gonna bring this up. So yeah, it's gonna be Australia. Their next game, quarterfinals, either USA or Netherlands. I do assume that Argentina both go through the Netherlands and USA, and then the semifinal, they're either gonna face Spain or Brazil. And you know, I already told you guys that if Argentina and Spain go to the semifinals, I'm gonna go for Argentina first. I told you guys that already. If Argentina loses, I will go for Spain. If they get knocked out, I will go for Spain to win the whole thing. But I do assume that Argentina do beat Spain or Brazil. Whether it's one of those two, it would be great to see Brazil in the semifinals to go up against Argentina. But I'm gonna go for Spain. I don't want Brazil to get in any of this type of. I don't want Brazil to win. Like, I know that I do have a lot of Brazilian fans out here, but I do not want to see Brazil win. Anyways, and I'm only saying that because I do support Argentina. I'm not saying that Brazil is a bad team. It's just that I support Argentina, and you know their rivals is Brazil. So that is basically it, right? It was a very scary situation for both the Mexican fans and the fans of Poland. Poland had a great fight, especially with Mexico. I'm meaning to say Mexico, not Mexico. I'm gonna say Mexico. Mexico had a great run, in my opinion. They did what they could. The only thing that did stop them was Tata Martino, and that's basically it. Once they bring in a brand new coach, and maybe it could be Gallardo. Man, I would love to see Gallardo from River Plate, coach of Mexico. We will start to see a rebuilding phase through these next 3 to 4 years before we head towards 2026, where they are also going to be hosting the World Cup in 2026. And hopefully by that time, they become much more superior to the team that they were before, which is what we see today. Saudi Arabia had no chance. They had one good game against Argentina, but that was a fluke. It was a fluke. I don't know if any of you guys did see Lewandowski and Messi exchange some words. I think that Lewandowski was trying to say, hey, why don't you join Barcelona? You know, I need some help. Like, I know I'm getting service from Pedri and Gavi. It's amazing, but nothing beats having you, Messi, on the team. So I don't know. I'm lying right now, but I'm assuming that's probably what Lewandowski did say. Hopefully we get to see Messi in a Barcelona shirt with Lewandowski. Imagine the amount of goals and assists to happen in that team between those two players. But yeah, I'm getting kind of sidetracked now. I do have a video that is going to be posted before I even post this video. So if you guys have not checked that out, it is going to be how La Liga will not allow Barcelona to sign any players in January. I'm going to literally press public to everybody right now so everybody can see that video. And so the video that you are watching right now and listening to, this is considered as a second video of today. So go watch the first one that I did post. All right, peace out.